So today we have a special guest, Patrick Lee. So please tell us a little bit about who you are, and we'll just go from there.
Hi, so happy to be here. Thank you for welcoming me here. It's an honor to be interviewed. My name is Janessa Medina, and a little bit about myself is that I was born and raised in California.
Thank you so much. All right, we're just gonna get right into the questions. So Janessa, can you tell us a little bit about your current role and what led to this career path?
Right now, I currently work at one of the Alamo colleges, a part of the student advocacy department. My role there is I am a mental health peer, so I work alongside with the mental health department.
Kind of like you get to work with a lot of students.
See me a lot in the sensory room that is offered there. So students that either on the spectrum or not. We do serve all types of different walks of life there, but I can either help them along with their self-care journey, or they can just hang out in the sensory room and kind of de-stress. Let's say they fail an exam and they have those feelings of overwhelm. We would be able to serve them there.
What were your early career goals, and how have they evolved?
I graduated high school in 2014, and right off the jump, I wanted to be a child psychiatrist. So one of my first jobs was actually working at a daycare, and I loved it.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love working with those little kids. They're so adorable, especially at that age. And they'd be like, "Teacher Janessa," like it was so adorable. But anywho, that was my first career dream, you can say. However, what happened was I had this really difficult class, psychology, statistics, and that professor was very difficult. And imagine a lecture with no PowerPoint, and your exams were open end 5 essay questions. After that, I was like, no more, let's not do that. So I changed it to architecture, and I studied that. Moved out here, I changed it to social work, which led to me working alongside the advocacy center, because it is they do handle case management, which is part of the social work field.
I kind of see how you just went from different works of life, and now you're finally here. So you have definitely evolved as an individual and also in your career path, and it's amazing. What were some of the challenges you faced when you were starting out in your field?
One thing that I struggle with is adapting to new policy and changes. Sometimes one week it will be, oh, we're going to implement this. This is how we're going to do this. And then the next day it'll be like, okay, forget that. We're doing this new process. Since I work alongside the Advocacy Center and we talk about poverty and all that, we have to constantly be changing to be better. And it's letting go of that perfection or that comfort, that standard was really hard at the beginning. But now I'm like, you know what? It's another day. If changes happens, great. I know the purpose in the end is to serve the students.
At the end of the day, that's really all that matters. And you seem to be doing a very great job at that. So well done.
Thank you.
Can you share like a significant moment in your career over the years that kind of shaped your trajectory?
I know I mentioned the daycare was my first job, but I had other jobs. I left the daycare to work at Panda Express, starting as, a counter helping serve food, and then I worked my way up to manager at the Panda Express, which helped me move up the chain, of course, earn more money, but end up helping me buy a house and move out here. One of the challenging things that led me to go back to school, I would definitely say not having the support of your higher ups. It was just no longer a good fit. I've worked with the company for over like 5 years, working on moving up. Like I was planning to maybe even retire one day from there. But once your higher ups do something low key behind your back, I had to let go of someone. They brought him back, and after that, you can't establish that respect anymore. So I decided it was time for me to leave, and I got a job working in car sales, and I didn't like putting people in debt. So I decided to come back to school, and it led me to the Advocacy Center where I'm at now.
We're very good with numbers.
Yeah, I love math. I like looking at numbers. My dad is really big on math. Let's say you go pay something in cash, like he already knows like what the change would be.
So, what advice would you give to someone interested in your field?
The advice I would give for anyone in my field, that's a good question. I serve students, so you definitely have to be someone that loves what you do and adaptable. At the end of the day, you really have to be strong in your purpose. If you're not, it's not going to be a good fit for you. So it really depends, and a really good looking in and to see if this is the right career field for you. And if it's okay, if it's not for everyone. Keep on trying to see what works.
Essentially, just figuring out what you would like to do and just go from there.
Yeah, and I've been in and out of school so many times. I failed some classes even, but it's part of, I guess, life. It goes up and down, but you just have to be okay with failing. I think a lot of people think they have to be perfect in college. Even I still struggle with that.
Thank you so much. It has been amazing having you here. And I just have one more question for you before, I let you go.
Okay.
How has your career impacted your personal life or changed your perspective?
I will say hearing the students firsthand, they didn't know what they were going to do without us. You can really sense that relief because being a student is already tough. You can't expect a student to have their full attention when they have an eviction going on. It's just impossible to be all in. Actually, last semester, we were able to help over like 30 students avoid evictions. That has been very impactful. It just really puts myself in perspective. Like, you don't know what anyone's going through, and it could be like the least person that you expected. So that, I would say, has impacted me a lot, is seeing the influence and the impact that we have on students. And it can even be the minor things of our little grocery store. I constantly hear like, oh my gosh, like I had no food in my fridge. Like, this is gonna help me and my kids, and we have diapers and formulas and all that in there. So you can really see the difference in their face when they come in and out, and that's honestly what I keep with me to keep going.
I remember my first year of college and how I really struggled trying to keep up with a full-time job and full-time school. It was one of the hardest moments of my life. But of course, we had people like you in college to just help give us a safe space and the advice that we need. So you are doing a great job. We really do appreciate every single thing that you do. If you had one thing to say to your younger self, what would it be right now?
Ooh, that's such an interesting question. What would I tell you, my younger self? To let go of things that no longer serve you. To let go of the past. I feel I sometimes hold on to it, and I think the worst of everything. So it's learning to let go and be a little bit more optimistic. I think that would work. A little more happy. Have fun. My younger self was so serious, but I don't blame her. She was just surviving.
Thank you so much, Janessa. It has been a pleasure having you here. Next time, this is Couch with Dee, and thank you so much for being here.
Bye.
Bye.
Mwah. See you in the next one.